This video is brought to you by UrbanNationRadio.com, the website that houses my own radio show, Venom Time, every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A radio show where you can call in and I talk about entertainment, technology, movies, and everything that you love about Venom 2 Million. All in one place, live. And you can have conversations with me live on the air via calling in. Make sure you tune in every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now on to the video. This is a really big jacket. I'm wearing it because I don't want to show off the guns, you know. Don't want to petrify some of you people. What's going on, guys? I'm Venom 2 Million. You see the title of the video. Let's get right into it. Yes. Hey. It's not confirmed whether or not they're going to do it. Sony or Marvel hasn't said a dang thing. Everything's just been rumors. But from these rumors and everything that my mind is putting together, I do believe it is going to be rebooted. The Amazing Spider-Man franchise is going to be no more. It's going to be a reboot. But the way that they can do it without making everyone angry, what I'm going to say is a way to bring it in. Soft, subtle. First, I want to start off, get rid of Andrew Garfield. Yup. You get rid of Andrew Garfield. Now, I know I just angered a lot of people, and people probably are not going to listen to anything that I have to say now because I said that. But if you want this to be a new Spider-Man and connect it to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you get rid of him. You get someone else. You know, he's an actor. Actors' jobs are to be a character. He is not Spider-Man. He is not the only Spider-Man. People don't like change, but people have to accept that change happens. And if you want to actually do a reboot of this franchise, you need to get rid of Andrew Garfield. You need to have this franchise be something else. You need to start something new, but start it in a clean way. So you get rid of Andrew Garfield and make the main Spider-Man franchise worthless. That being said, I still do have some videos coming out regarding the main Spider-Man franchise. If they don't do that. Do I think they'll do it? Yeah, I think they're going to get rid of the main Spider-Man franchise. But yes, I still have more videos coming out, and I still have my own story to tell regarding that. So yes, so you get rid of Andrew Garfield, and you start fresh. Now, how do you start fresh? This is what you do. You introduce Spider-Man subtly. You do not go shock value. You do not all of a sudden say, here's Spider-Man, it's brand new. No, you introduce him subtly. How do you introduce him subtly? With Netflix. Marvel is now starting to show these street level heroes. Spider-Man is a street level hero. They have a Daredevil show coming out next year on Netflix. Introduce Spider-Man in there. Bring Spider-Man in there somehow. Weave him in there. There's this Spider guy. Something going on. I don't know. Spider-Man meets Daredevil. Daredevil meets Spider-Man. We do not see who Spider-Man is. We do not see his secret identity, any of that, for a long time. We don't see that until Captain America 3, until he's introduced in the movies. We do not see that. We just know that it is Spider-Man. And give him a suit more in line with the comics. A suit that does not have raised webbing. A suit that has webbing that is suppressed. And also make the suit more costumey. And don't make it look tacky. There's a difference between costumey and tacky. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit was very good. It was excellent. But I want it to look more in line with the Edge of Time. Make it look more like a costume. Make it look like a costume. Make it look like that. Don't make it look like, I mean, I want it to be professional, look professional, but also make it look like a costume. It doesn't need to look all freaking crazy, you know, like, looks like it doesn't need to look like he spent $10,000 to make it, because Peter Parker doesn't have that type of money. He's a child, he's a kid, but he's an artist. He's great at what he's good at art, stuff like that. Clearly it's evident with the costume and it's all that. So make it look like something a teenager could do. I'm not saying a teenager couldn't do what the suit that was made in the main Spider-Man 2, but I'm just talking about diversifying this from the Amazing Spider-Man franchise. Allowing the audience to understand that this is not the same Spider-Man in subtle ways, because you do not want to just force it on to the audience. So you introduce Spider-Man in the Daredevil show subtly. Don't just bring him in, have a few episodes when they're talking about him, then have episodes when Daredevil's trying to get something and he sees Spider-Man there, or Daredevil's trying to do something, he sees Spider-Man there, they have a little confrontation, they work together, whatever, Spider-Man's gone. Spider-Man is not a main character, he's not going to be a recurring character, do not do it that way, don't do it. Next, you don't introduce him in Captain America 3, you do the Sinister Six film, in which it's about these villains in New York City, Daredevil's in the city as well, they talk about Daredevil and stuff like that, and then bring Spider-Man in there again. Spider-Man is in there. Introduce other things from the MCU in the Sinister Six film, because I think Marvel and Sony will come together to collaborate on the Sinister Six film if this whole rumor is true regarding Spider-Man and being in the Avengers. So you do this subtly and you draw this out. You do the Sinister Six film and Spider-Man being in there somewhat. Let the audience know that this is a part of the MCU by having things that are mentioned that happen in the MCU. Also make the film aesthetically look different. You mention Oscorp, but don't have these characters working for Oscorp. Have these characters doing something completely different. Maybe introduce Norman Osborn barely, more Spider-Man, a little bit Spider-Man in there. Then you do a movie, in Captain America or in one of the movies, you know, you speak of Spider-Man again. Have Spider-Man thrown into there until eventually we see Spider-Man in the movies. And it's when he's with Tony Stark and SHIELD or whomever when we see that this is not Andrew Garfield. That this is not the same Spider-Man. Because now you've let the Amazing Spider-Man franchise lay dormant. You've let it lay dormant. The audience, they may be confused, but that's okay because it's different from just having Ed Norton in one movie and then Mark Ruffalo in the next. Then it's shocking, it's jarring. But Mark Ruffalo did such a good job, people didn't care about it. Have this actor, you know, be the voice of Spider-Man for all this time, but we never see his face until, you know, eventually at one point in the Marvel movie, we see Spider-Man and Peter Parker is not Andrew Garfield. And then it's like, whoa, who's this guy? You know, like that. Then we want to learn more about him. Then you do a Netflix show talking about Spider-Man's life. Talking about Peter Parker, how he's gotten to where he's gotten to, how he, you know, all of that. Draw it out real nice. You want to tell the story to the complete way. Introduce how Norman Osborn and him have a problem. How Spider-Man has a problem with the Sinister Six, stuff like that. You know, in the Sinister Six film, it should be Spider-Man is their enemy, like they don't like Spider-Man. This Netflix series can show why they don't like Spider-Man. It can be the back history. Think of it as Gotham or something like that. I think of how they would introduce Spider-Man in the MCU. It would be he's already an existing character, but he's a street level character, so people don't really know that much about him. So I think about like Batman and Superman, how Superman, you know, he just came, you know, he became Superman, but Batman has been around for a long time before this. So Spider-Man, you know, Spider-Man grew up seeing these superheroes, you know, doing all this stuff, and that's also part of his motivation. You know, he wants to help people. He has powers. Uncle Ben told him with great power comes great responsibility. He doesn't get bit till after the Avengers incident. So like, he sees her, he's like, he can help too, you know, he can help. Because they're busy all the time. He can help in New York along with Daredevil, along with Nick, I was about to say Nick Fury, but Luke Cage, Iron Fist, you know, stuff like that. He can help them. So introduce Spider-Man very slowly. Introduce Spider-Man slowly. Do it very drawn out. Have his name dropped in Daredevil a few times. Have him show up in Daredevil in maybe 2 episodes. And then after that, you have his name dropped a little bit more in the Marvel movies. Captain America 3, have his name dropped. Eventually, you do something when Spider-Man is there. He unmasks, not to the world. It doesn't necessarily have to be him unmasked to the world. If you do Civil War, that could be the first time that we see who Spider-Man actually is. He unmasks and he's like, I'm Peter Parker, and the world goes, what? And the audience goes, what? Who is that guy? And that could be another thing that how they play it. You know, that could be sweet. You know, having the audience have the same reaction as the people in the world. That could be interesting as well. And then after that, you go back with the Netflix show. You go back chronologically, just going over his life, the struggles that he's went through, the things that he's went through, and make it different from the Amazing Spider-Man movie. You want to know how you make it different? You do exactly what the comics did. Do you hear? Exactly. You don't have it when Uncle Ben gets shot doing something. You have when Peter's out being a wrestler, not caring about nobody, not caring about nothing, not caring about himself, not caring about anybody but himself. You know, a burglar that freaking got away because Peter let him go, breaks into Aunt May and Uncle Ben's house, and he shoots him. And he shoots Uncle Ben. Peter comes home and like do exactly and draw it out. Don't cut corners. Do exactly, because people always say we've seen the same thing. No, you've seen the wrong thing. You've seen the same thing, sure, but it's not been the correct story. You do exactly what they did in the comics, but on the Netflix screen. I was gonna say the big screen, but on the Netflix screen, you do it just like that, and that really will captivate the audience. It'll make people say this is different, even though it's what's supposed to be, and then you drag that out. You know, you drag it out like that. Then, with all of that being established, you do a Spider-Man movie and the MCU. You know, after they turn back time, Doctor Strange, because they're not gonna have the freaking demon. You know, Peter does a deal with the demon. They're not gonna do that. So how they would do it, my idea, have Doctor Strange turn back time to before Peter unmasked himself, and then he goes to Captain America, stuff like that. So that's what I think they should do, and that's what I think they could do. I do think they're gonna reboot. They're gonna do a soft reboot. This is a way to do a soft reboot because it's not necessarily in your face. It's just more subtle. Like the idea is being introduced to you in multiple times and stuff, and you're like going, oh, okay, maybe I'm getting it. I'm getting it a little bit. I'm getting it. So, and then you eventually go, so wait, the main Spider-Man franchise meant nothing. Okay, fine, whatever. Hey, Spider-Man's in the Avengers, Spider-Man's with them, so hey, I'm cool. You know, stuff like that. And also make Spider-Man, the one thing that made Spider-Man 2 did correct, was that Spider-Man was actually amazing. For the first time, Spider-Man was super strong. This dude picking up cars, throwing them. You know, this dude jumping all the way from like 100 feet, like way up off that clock tower, jumping all the way down and landing, you know, and not getting hurt. Stuff like that. Make him a superhuman. Exaggerate the fact that he has these powers. Exaggerate it. This dude needs to be amazing. Do that as well to diversify this Spider-Man from the others. And Sony, please, I really want this to be true. I really want this to be happening. I'm really excited for it. Yes. That's what I want. That's what I want. So what do you guys think about this? So let's have a conversation in that comment section below. As always, thank you guys for watching. I'm Venom 2 million. I was about to say Venom. I am Venom 2 million. Saying subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button. Share this video around with all of your friends. And peace. You know, peace. You know, what am I? Peace. Yeah. Got some video game stuff coming up too. But peace, guys. Have a great one. Have a great one.
Venom 2 million.